2025 was a year that saw our nation's capital fundamentally changed, both figuratively and physically, with more expected in 2026 as well. 17's Washington correspondent Trevor Shirley reports on the year in Washington that was and what's ahead.
With President Donald Trump's return to office earlier this year, Washington saw some of the fastest and most sweeping changes in history.
So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. President.
President Donald Trump retook office on January 20th, quickly pardoning all of the January 6th rioters as one of his first acts. Quickly thereafter, Elon Musk and his Doge team began cutting down the size of the federal government.
It's a chainsaw for bureaucracy.
The Office of Personnel Management says this year 317,000 employees left the federal government, including those who were fired and offered early retirement or buyouts.
Liberation Day.
In April, President Trump unveiled his signature economic policy, tariffs. He says they'll bring manufacturing jobs back to the U.S., but some economists warn they could raise prices on average Americans. In July, President Trump signed the Big Beautiful Bill Act, his signature piece of domestic legislation this year. The law extends the tax cuts from his first term in office, but critics say cuts funding for crucial services like Medicaid. Democrats also seized on health care to force a vote to keep COVID-era Obamacare tax subsidies in place, leading to a 43-day government shutdown across October and November, the longest in U.S. history.
The shutdown is caused by the Democrats.
Our Republican partners are refusing to talk to us.
Those subsidies, though, weren't saved and expire New Year's Day. They could be renegotiated in 2026. Also at home, the Jeffrey Epstein saga dominated Capitol Hill, with many lawmakers forcing a bipartisan vote to release the files, many of which were made public but heavily redacted. President Trump also making major physical changes, tearing down the east wing of the White House to build a ballroom and putting his name on the Kennedy Center. In foreign policy, after a bilateral shouting match with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky,
"You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right?"
The leaders eventually moved beyond some of their differences before President Trump welcomed Russian President Vladimir Putin to a summit in Alaska. Negotiations there produced few results. The war in Ukraine continues. In Gaza, President Trump announced in October a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas and the return of Israeli hostages.
We gather on a day of profound joy, of soaring hope.
That ceasefire remains in place, but fragile. Yet tensions around the world remain, with President Trump continuing to order strikes on alleged Venezuelan drug boats and threatening more military action against Iran over its missile program.
I hope they're not trying to build up again, because if they are, we're going to have no choice but very quickly to eradicate that buildup.
And in 2026, the Epstein saga will continue, with the DOJ set to release even more files. The Supreme Court is set to rule on the legality of President Trump's tariffs. And of course, all eyes will be on the midterm elections in November. Reporting in Washington, I'm Trevor Shirley.